Well, I also say what's unique is the connections you don't know you're going to make. Came to this event and I met a connection from the upstate of South Carolina, probably 2 hours away from me. And we've hit it off and we were already collaborating on things and who knows what the future holds there. But the fact that this guy was right up in my neck of the woods, we've never met before, that was pretty special.
I got RB Gallup from Columbia, South Carolina. What's up, buddy? Good to have you here.
Good to be here.
All right. RB, this is your first Contractor Coalition. I've been wanting you to come for a while. We've been friends for quite a while now. What is the Contractor Coalition opening up for you? You're an incredible operator, but I always find that from the first time I met you, you've always been curious about growing your business. You're like this, you're always pursuing what's next and how to become a better operator, and it's really impressive. I'm just curious, somebody like yourself who has a very successful business and the amount you've grown it over the last couple of years as I've watched you do that, I knew you'd be a great fit for this event and the type of personality of the people that are attracted to it. But what are you finding that is useful and sort of validating for the business that you have back home?
Thanks, Mark. As one of our core values is growth oriented, and I took that from myself as where I'm always trying to learn and being around others that I can always learn things from in the similar industry, you know, whether it's construction or even a subcontractor or a vendor, sharing common experiences and struggles and just getting different perspectives, challenge the way you think and present new ideas. So just today we were talking about, I'm pretty firm on one concept that I've kind of driven home into existence. Well, I've been challenged now to think, well, maybe there's an alternative and there is a reason to pursue a different path. And I think it's important to not only challenge your way of thinking and grow and maybe change, but also sometimes it clarifies and galvanizes what you know is actually working really well. When you can hear other people struggling and you go, okay, well, this is why that is working. So I think it's nice, it'll bring in fresh perspective for change. And for me, it also clarifies and galvanizes what is working and what we need to double down on.
Are you speaking specifically, just because I know more about your business than I do with other guests, the difference between fixed bid and cost plus?
Not necessarily. No, I was actually speaking about, we're big into messaging through Builder Trend on our portal and hearing that there's a text message that goes out weekly with a video update, and the idea that yes, communicating through a portal can be kind of cold. Maybe is there a way to warm it up a little bit, get some of those thumbs up emojis, you know, some good feelings on a Friday. Is there a place for that? And I like that aspect of it. I thought that was a really, really nice game changer.
It's funny you said that because you actually beat me to my question. I was sitting behind you and I had the same reaction you did. It's taken me a lot of time and effort to educate the client, to protect our team, to avoid all the texting that it can become, because we've seen the flip side of it. So my reaction was sort of the same as yours, is like, I love it, but if we're gonna use one tool, let's go all in on that. But I agree, I mean, I'm gonna try it and see if it works. The hard part is if somebody takes it one direction, can you bring that client back on and not engage?
Right.
That'll be the trick.
Yeah, and going back to the cost plus question you asked me earlier, I'm not gonna switch my business model to cost plus. I like fixed cost. And it kind of pointed out maybe the reasons that is a good decision for me, but I've also can take pieces from cost plus models and different approaches and integrate them into what's working for us. So it's not a one size fits all approach. I don't think anyone operates their business exactly the same. I think we all are kind of piecing together these hybrid models as we learn.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
We're in the same Builder 20.
Right.
From your point of view, what are some commonalities between the Builder 20 format and what are some differences? And not really to compare one positively or negatively, but just a lot of people are in Builder 20s.
Sure.
And how would you compare the two, and what are some of the pros and cons that you see that the Contractor Coalition might bring forward?
I think the pro of the Contractor Coalition is it's more of a set education session. You have scheduled events that we're going to talk about these topics, and they really move through those efficiently, and they're prepared with notes and do a great job diving deep into some topics. And I think Builder 20 is for us can be more of a accountability, numbers-based approach. You learn about how to get to your numbers here, but we're not looking at our direct numbers and comparing them with each other. So I think you learn systems, tactics, approaches, and I really enjoy the stories that go along with it. You know, we get to know some of these people who are conducting these sessions through Instagram or other social media platforms, and we see what is Instagram. In most forms, it's a marketing perspective of the company. You know, it's a good perspective of the company that wants to put out in front of a client. But to hear some of the behind the scenes stories and to hear the struggles and the pain points and lessons people have learned along the way is very valuable, and it's nice to be in a closed, warm community to be able to do that.
If you were to come back to a future coalition, would you bring one of your team members, or what would that look like to you?
Oh yeah, I think I took a lot of notes during this event. When we were talking about marketing, I made some notes for our director of marketing. I was like, man, she would be soaking this up. I'm gonna have to go over it with her. I was going over some operations stuff, and I was thinking about our director of ops and how, hey, she would really benefit from hearing this. So yeah, it would be nice to be able to have them here and be able to, to relay the message to someone is one thing. It's like, oh yeah, RB went to another seminar. He's got really great ideas again.
Yeah.
He's got a new idea.
Yeah.
Versus hearing it and seeing other people in the room grab onto something and hearing what works can kind of ignite a spark that might not otherwise be there.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that's, just hearing you talk about it, I've seen a number of companies that come back. It's almost like the first one is a scouting mission. What am I going to gain out of this? What do I get? And sometimes it is accountability. We've had, and they come back and you're like, okay, I've implemented this. This is how I've grown. And you'll see people that you've met at other coalitions. You're like, oh man, what worked for you? And I think the camaraderie, people stay in touch, past the event as well. Maybe and I know, Vince is here, who's also in our Builder 20 as well. And so it's like, obviously we see each other a lot anyway, but so that's a further connecting point. But what I sort of like about it is, unlike a Builder 20, there's some privacy involved with it. Where here it's like, you could bring your whole team if you wanted.
Sure. Yeah, and how many times have you read a book in the past and maybe you didn't finish it, or maybe you read it and you got something from it, and then a few years later you come back to it and it strikes another chord because you've had different experiences. You're challenged with something different than you were when you read that book. And I think coming to Contractor Coalition Summit again you would come with different questions. It's not this, even if the program was exactly the same, you'd probably pull out something different from it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think someone had mentioned it's like honing their blade, honing the knife. It's just like they keep sharpening the edge, and everyone is at a different continuum of like where they are professionally. I think you're pretty advanced. You've built an incredible business, but we have some people here that are years 2 and 3 in, and it's interesting that everyone can get a lot of assets that they can add to their company in terms of knowledge, and everyone can add more to it. And even talking to Brad, Tyler, and Nick and interviewing them as well, they gain a lot. Even teaching it, right? Because new attendees are bringing forward a lot of interesting questions or sharing their stories, especially the in-between time when it's a little bit easier to share. Is there anything, if you were to explain or describe what's happening at the coalition to a builder that was interested, how would you describe it?
Well, I also say what's unique is the connections you don't know you're going to make. I came to this event and I met a connection from the upstate of South Carolina, probably 2 hours away from me, and we've hit it off, and we were already collaborating on things, and who knows what the future holds there. But the fact that this guy was right up in my neck of the woods, and we never met before, that was pretty special. So, given chance to collaborate with people from across the country or in your same state, just giving that opportunity is really nice.
Debbie Price is here. She's from southern Minnesota, and she and I actually partnered on a house together. She was about 2 hours away. I didn't have the people power to go down and build in that community, but she definitely believed in the collaboration over competition before, it's kind of the unofficial tagline of the Contractor Coalition Summit. And so I said, oh, you are the right mindset, you've got to come. But it's almost inverted, like whether you do something with this other builder or not, or another builder in your community, or there's other people here looking to move to other markets. I think people are much more open to partnering with other builders. Where the old model was, I do my builder thing and you do your builder thing, but we don't really talk about it. And now the world seems to be much more collaborative. Maybe it's a joint development together, whatever it might be, right? I mean, it's just, that's kind of what's intriguing and exciting as you said, now all of a sudden you've got someone that just a few hours away. No. Thanks for your time. Thanks for coming to the coalition.
It's glad to be here. I had a great time. It was awesome.
All right. Tell your cousin Henry Duvall hello from me. If you're interested in attending the Contractor Coalition in the future, please head to contractorcoalitionsummit.com or follow us on Instagram to find out more.